Okay, good evening. Today is the 26th of October. Well, the month is getting away, correct? And we are going to have Bible band this evening. I am continually experimenting with this, that, or the other. May I first of all say holy greetings to the saints. I want to say that God is good to us. I realize that some are dealing with separation by loss. I've received word, and we certainly want to be praying for our sister Bologna, who was formerly Scott, in a personal loss, I think a granddaughter. And I've been talking to others who are dealing with health challenges and their loved ones are asking prayer. So take all of those seriously. We've been dealing with this whole series on prayer, and we do know that power, that boldness, that actual answers to the petitions we desire of Him are obtained through fervent, sincere prayer. We got the faith, He's got the power. We often hear that, but it is absolutely true. The reason I'm doing this, I want to say a word concerning our brethren in Haiti. I don't know if y'all are listening to the news, even on our national news. The situation in Haiti is dire. I sent out a link to a video. First, I had it unlisted. I guess I should have just let it go public from the start. But they are on, I'm going to say, a scale approaching starvation. Hunger is really rampant. And I know one thing I'm going to have to do personally. I have continued to give to the missions of our church. You know, on that envelope, I always put on there at least one each month, $100. I'm just going to go ahead and say it for missions, but we're going to up that because it's apparent that they don't know how long the government's going to be in disarray and the gangs are going to be controlling and not allowing fuel to flow or people to actually buy and sell on the street with any kind of security, just to try to go out to buy, especially during the week. They do seem to give a little bit of a break on Saturday and Sunday, but they say even in the capital of Port-au-Prince, the neighborhood surrounding the capital, they're shooting, and apparently the police force is not able to really deal with it. I was listening to a news report this morning on NPR, and they were saying that the armored vehicles that Canada and the U.S. sent have not hit the streets yet. But I don't know when they will be deployed. The people have not heard anything from their Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, in about 6 weeks. You know, it's really chaotic. People are protesting. They want him to go because in the 14 months or so that he's been there, things have only gotten worse. They were bad before the assassination of the former president, the last president, Jovenel Moise, but they've only gotten worse. And so the people are really living in a stressful state. I was talking to Superintendent Sarame, and I said, well, listen, a number of Haitians have family, children, others, relatives that live in the United States, and like Mexico and other places, they send remittances back, I'm sure. And he said, yes, indeed, they do try to help from time to time, you know, as they are able, but there are just a slew of people who do not have relatives that can help them, you know, even in the least amount. And so then we got into a discussion of what kind of time frame do you see, or can you envision how long will this last? And he couldn't, and I knew he couldn't, but I was just looking for some kind of way to frame this. How much is needed, for how long? Will it make a difference? You know, all of those questions that we have. And the scriptures come to me, you know, in James, he talks about if you see a brother have need and you have the resources that can help them, yet shut up your bowels of compassion, how dwelleth the love of God in you? And when you look at it as though it's a matter of death, possibility from starvation, even though we can't remedy the entire situation, it will be help to that one. It will be encouragement to that one. It will strengthen the faith of that one. I was looking at it in terms of, as he stated in the video, I don't know what we said, a certain bag of rice. I don't even know how many pounds that bag represented, but a family, depending on the size, could probably eat on that bag of rice for 3 to 5 days, just depending on the size of the family. So again, Haiti is going to need, and I'm affiliated with him, so I know these 4 areas. Tamasik, which we were trying to build a church there. I guess that's kind of put on hold for now. We got more pressing issues. We recently were able to try to build a wall to keep the water when the rains descend from eroding the land. Also, there's a school that we helped to build in what's called Grand Carril or Plateau Central from Inch. And then City Soleil is where he first started, but now Pastor Amazon Bernier is there. And of course, the church that he pastors in, Delmas. But let's see, what do they call that? There's another name, Silo. It's Silo. And so his whole district is called the Silo District. Something monthly will probably have to occur, not on the scale that I'm going to try to solicit help in sending for this month, but afterwards, certainly through the end of the year. There's a United Nations, an appeal from the Prime Minister Ariel Henry to the United Nations. Some say it looks like it's a failed attempt, it's stalled, it wasn't acted on immediately. There is an endeavor to get, if the United Nations doesn't move, to get at least 3 nations, possibly another in South America, but France, Canada, and the United States to intervene and help bring the gangs under control and get rid of these heavy guns that are in the hands of non-governmental entities. And there was a journalist who had traced ties of some of the gangs to some of the political entities or persons, or the connected political persons. Anyway, they tried to assassinate him, I guess. I said he took about 10 bullets and ended up going to the hospital, but he did survive. So I'm putting it before the church to think individually about your contributions for each month to the missions fund in the church. And we may, and I'll come back and say more about that after some further consultation and consideration, design some sort of monthly support, not at the level that we're going to make on this initial bequest, but think about it. Let the Lord touch your heart and respond accordingly. All right. Bless you. Like I say, I'm constantly experimenting. We'll see how this goes on the community thread. Bye-bye.